Hello, everyone. Our dog just barked.
They're just saying hello.
Hello. Luna want to say hello. Hello, it's Wednesday night. It's what the
Yeah.
show. We can't really cold open right now because we can't do our theme song. But we're finally back on a Wednesday. This is our first Wednesday stream since the anniversary.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone for almost a month without being on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to finish the MD 2020 for an entire month now. Finally get it out of my freezer.
This is your time. It's Wicked Wednesday. I just got out of my screening. I'm here with my Glinda cup.
You're muted.
My sweatshirt. I have Wicked PJ pants on. Here with my Wicked pillow, with my Wicked nails, and my Wicked friendship bracelets. So, some could say I'm a little,
You're
obsessed.
Obsessed, girl.
I'm a little obsessed. I loved it. I thought it was great. I think that Cynthia and Ariana just knocked it out of the park once again. I mean, really, the whole cast and crew, I think, did such a wonderful job. I have a couple of teensy tiny nitpicks. I will say, again, there's been some, I haven't changed for good. If you are a fan of Wicked the Musical, you will like this movie. And well, I can't say that for certain, but I think you will like this movie. Act 2 often is criticized for being the weaker of the two acts, which I agree, but it has some of my favorite songs, and I really think the emotional beats in Act 2 I've always really enjoyed, so I kind of forgive some of the messy plot points and whatever. I really loved it. I think the emotions were so high. The performances were so good. Like, I was just blown away by Ariana Grande in this movie. That it just really, everything. Hi, Mike Deacon. Everything really hit for me. I'm in a great mood. I've been waiting for this as my number one movie of the year. I can't wait to go see it like 18 more times. So
if you want to hear her full thoughts, listen to next week's Extra Movie Butter podcast.
Yes, I will be there. I will be giving spoiler reviews. I'm not trying to be spoilery tonight because, obviously it's just coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will have so many thoughts. Don't even wait for my thoughts.
We got tickets for next Wednesday. I actually got tickets last night for next Wednesday, so I will be seeing it in theaters.
Wow,
Juice is going to a theater not in December?
I'm so proud of you. Also doing a Wicked Wednesday. Yep. We love a Wicked Wednesday. I will be watching Stranger Things next Wednesday. But I love that you're going to see Wicked. That makes me so happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I love just hearing people's thoughts and everyone finally getting to discuss it. And so many people don't know the show, and so they're getting to learn things for the first time. A friend of mine who went tonight learned things for the first time. I don't know how she managed to stay spoiler free this whole time, but she did. And it's just so fun to see people's reactions and
I don't think I've really mentioned this, but so Madison is a really great singer and definitely a musical theater nerd. So
we love that.
I'm more excited to watch the movie than I am to watch the movie myself.
That was the two. We watched the NBC special, and I wasn't really paying attention to the special, but I was definitely watching her react.
We might watch the first one the night before, because I watched it for our show, and and that was honestly kind of cool because I only would have ever watched Wicked because of for the top 10 list for the show. Just hitting on the must watches, but that there was a show and a decently into the movie, I just kind of stopped. Usually I'm doing something else a little bit while I'm watching the movie, but I just stopped and was just watching the movie. And so I was telling her, I was like, we could rewatch the first one, but I feel like I remember and grasp enough of the first one to where I don't need to in order to know what's going on.
I think the first one's a fairly linear story. It's
There's not much. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say, which I told Mike, is common, obviously, trope in musicals is you'll have like a reprise of a song, like, whatever. This is not like an uncommon thing in a musical. And obviously, if you're watching it as a musical and it's Act 1 and Act 2, you go out to a tiny intermission and you come back and you've just seen Act 1. And so those songs fresh in your head. And I was telling Mike, like, I'm very familiar with the Wicked soundtrack. I know the storyline very well. So tonight, when certain reprises came, I was like, oh, yes, whatever. But I was saying to him, I think the casual fan, if you saw the movie once last year and then you waited a year and then you're watching it this year, might not remember, like, that was a song in the first one and we're doing, like, a reprise of it or, whatever.
That's a good,
so
that's good.
Like, yeah. I am intrigued to see how that hits for people that aren't, like, as familiar with the show.
So you definitely recommend watching it before right? You think, or
so very
casual Lego.
So casual Lego, the most casual. I think it's not like a terrible idea if you're not like super.
If you got the time.
I mean, if you listen to the soundtrack a decent amount, like I don't know, maybe like Madison has a jam in her car or something, and you've like heard it quite a few times,
right?
You'd probably be okay. But I think it probably wouldn't hurt to maybe do a refresher, just so certain things. Like there's definitely, obviously, again, like not uncommon in a 2-act show to have callbacks to the first act because, again, usually you were sitting there watching it all in one go. So in this movie, I remember things that happened in the first movie and I know the show really well. So I'm like, oh, yes, I get that callback. But I remember there being a couple times tonight that I was like, how is this going to hit for a casual person, though? Like, is that going to mean as much to them as it means to someone who obviously very much like gets that reference? So yeah, that would be.
I think we'll watch it the night before.
You just be like, just do a little refresher. Again, you remember the main plot points, and I think you'll still be totally fine. But just for like full appreciation, I think having a refresher like couldn't hurt. That's my humble opinion.
So I was curious, Juice, how many 2025 movies have you watched so far?
I have watched a grand total. Better wait for this. I've watched a grand total of 3 movies.
Woo! All right, hit us. What have they been?
Captain America, Brave New Soldier, Mickey 17, and Sinners.
Okay.
So all 3 of those, one of those 100% will be in my top 10.
One of them was really good.
One of them will be 100% will be on that list.
They'll probably all be on my top 10 just because. I'll see if I'll get Captain America out of there. That doesn't need to be on.
This is how much Captain America had an impact on my year. You said that, and I was like, that came out this year. That's right.
I saw the movie and forgot about it.
It's gone. It's gone from my memory.
Yeah, no, I made a list of the ones I for sure want to hit.
You'll like one battle after another.
Yeah, that's on there. Yep. So I'm excited to get to that. So I got a few. I got a few for sure. And then
I would say definitely watch that. Predator Badlands was fantastic. I really liked Predator Badlands. I would definitely recommend that one as well. Yeah. Spoiler alert, both those that I just mentioned will likely be in my top 5. And Thunderbolts is actually probably of all the superhero movies the best one in my opinion.
We'll definitely watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was solid. I can't wait. I mean, we're winding down. It's crazy to think about. Yeah,
only
got
like
1 more month of movies.
Yeah, 6 weeks left.
There's some big heavy hitters. Obviously, this was my most anticipated of the year. It did not disappoint. I don't see anything topping it for me personally. Obviously, it's not going to be like everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. But yeah,
this is a crazy year for me. I know what my outright favorites are, but like fleshing out the rest of what would be the current top 10 of what I've seen thus far is actually kind of difficult. Like picking like 7 through 10 is a little bit hard.
Yeah. Also, like there's been a lot of like movies that I've thoroughly enjoyed. Like there's movies that I've loved and then movies I've thoroughly enjoyed, and then there's movies I've like forgotten about because they were so like had such a little impact. I respect that, Lego. But yeah, like it's kind of hard. Like certain movies, I was like, oh yeah, like I liked that. And I don't
They
know.
just didn't stick with you as much. Like going through, if you have AMC A list, you can literally go and see everything you saw for the year. And some of them, I'm like, oh yeah, that was this year. Like you were saying about Captain America,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I forgot we saw that. Like somebody brought up Mickey 17, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
It was a pretty solid year overall for movies. So like I think I left the theater enjoying more movies than I left being like, oh God, that was not good.
I don't think we saw anything in theater that made me feel that way. Like I will outright say, like if I was of the movies I watched this year and I watched it at home and you saw it with AJ, I think Snow White was the worst movie of the year.
I have a different answer personally, but
your answer is probably going to be in my top 10.
Yeah.
So
it's not good. I don't care what anyone says. Friendship is not a good movie. I'm sorry.
I went to Subway. Was the funniest line.
Scene, and admittedly, I enjoyed, but that could have just been a sketch. Like it could have just been a bit that he does on his other little show. It did not need to be a whole movie.
If you had told me the line, I went to Subway, I ordered, would be the thing that made me laugh harder than anything in the entire year.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I think the 3 Popeye horror movies are obviously quality. I'm
gonna actually force. We didn't see it in theaters. I've also heard Weapons as multiple people.
Oh yeah,
I should horror so to see that. And I'm not a big horror guy, honestly. Not that he's not.
Oh yeah, I have it on my watch list. Yeah, I think it's on it's on HBO.
On Max, so
I'll get to it.
Yeah, it's on HBO now. Yeah,
I'm pretty certain I'm gonna go ahead and whenever I find the time, make myself watch that one. I'm just like you, just like I'm terrible at watching stuff at home. I get so easily distracted. I need to be here.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if Weapons is one that I want to pitch on watching with Madison or not. Like I'm still figuring out because anything that's like horror, like she's not anywhere near. So I'm still figuring out like what that line.
Yeah, because
because we're at the stage where it's if I get her to start watching a movie, it's not like she's gonna bail out on it, and just be like, I'm just gonna do. It's like I gotta be very like sure that she'll commit to it if I tell her we have to watch it. So like, I want to make sure it's something she would actually enjoy. But
this year too, though, there's a few of them, and I think 1 or 2 of them will likely make my top 10. Had the return of like the 85-minute comedy, which made me happy because they're so easy breezy movies to get through. You don't have to really invest much time-wise, or even you don't have to put much thought into it. You just sit back, relax for a breezy 85 minutes. I'm all for that. I was very happy to see that becoming a trend again.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. I do feel like run times on movies in general this year were not bad. We did. I felt like we were getting.
What was the longest one we saw?
We are getting into more digestible. Like again, not every movie needs to be a 3-hour masterpiece. Okay, sometimes it's warranted. Sometimes it is not.
I think One Battle might have been the longest movie we saw.
Yeah, which we technically had to see a good chunk of it
twice.
We only made it through a battle.
That literally we were like maybe 20 minutes into the movie or so, and the entire theater lost power because like. The entire grid on the block it's on, the transistor or whatever, went completely out. So we had to exit that theater in complete darkness. They didn't even have like emergency lights. It was, and we were sitting at the top of the theater that probably has give or take 30 rows.
Thank God for flashlights on cell phones, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh.
Tonight I will say, so our little AMC that is dead like all the time. Maybe one of the busier nights I've seen it. So that's promising. Wicked's looking good for numbers. It was a good turnout. People were there. People were themed. People were buying the merch. I mean, I did. Other people did as well. But no, it was good. A good turnout. It was funny though. I went with a friend who, again, like Mike and I are the only people I swear to God in this town that go to this AMC. So I went with a friend who's never been there, and she was like, "Oh, I was kind of worried. Like I thought maybe I'd have to get here a little bit earlier because again, they don't do assigned seatings because it's the dark ages at this movie theater. Okay, like we were the only people in the world not doing assigned seating at this point." And she was like, "Oh, I was a little worried I have to get here a little bit earlier because it'd be kind of crazy." Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, we have to go there early." And I was like, no one is ever at this theater. I'm like, you show up 15 minutes. Like tonight I showed up early by showing up like 20 minutes early. But like that, was really.
We normally show up 5 minutes before.
Like, we roll in.
The run time, yeah.
Because it's just not necessary. But yeah, it was in the big theater tonight, the Big D. We all love the Big D.
We all need the Big D.
And we all need the Big D in our lives. And it was pretty full. And I ran into another person from work. I was there with a couple of people from work, and then another person was there. And he's like, I didn't know you were going to be here tonight. And I was like, well, AMC is the only one doing the Wednesday showing. Mm-hmm. So you knew we were seeing it today. Where else would we be? This is the only AMC in the town. But yes, we got to see the Mario. That was the attached trailer. The little Mario.
Oh, yeah.
The sequel.
That's probably going to make
Have y'all been to Epic Universe yet?
We have not.
No, that's hopefully our plan is for our anniversary in like April.
Ooh, okay.
We're trying to go.
Yeah, we're
a big plan.
Hypothetically, I haven't decided whether I'm going to do some kind of premium version of it. So like whether we get express passes or if I even go all out and do the VIP tour, but to make sure we're able to see everything. Yeah. Because obviously we don't live there like we used to.
Early April. I mean, yeah. And early April should be a good. I mean,
well, there's a catch.
Technically Easter weekend.
Oh, it's Easter for Easter. Yeah.
But I feel like, and again, I can't speak on behalf of Epic, but as someone who worked Universal on Easter, I don't think it was that crazy.
There was one year it was, and it was when Easter was in March that particular
spring
year.
Break.
So it coincided with spring. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we had everybody. We had the people who were there for the Easter break plus all the spring breakers. That year was chaos. But that was the one and only.
Like there's definitely like better times probably to go than a holiday weekend. But like the thing about Easter is, of course, it's a Sunday holiday. So like I don't feel like it's as big of a travel holiday because everyone has to be at work on
the next day.
Like you might get Good Friday off, but like
a lot of
Sunday you're wrapping it up. Like it's not like like Thanksgiving now. You get a freaking whole week off for, and you're like that's asinine. Like Christmas time, obviously, like people are taking more time, but like Easter, it's kind of like you do the like the whatever Easter bunny, you do a church service. You have a afternoon meal. Like that's the thing of Easter. It's not like I don't feel like it's as big of a travel holiday or like this would be a great time to take the kids to whatever. Unless, of course, some people obviously do have their spring break. Like a lot of like I remember when I was like in like K through 12 school or whatever, but like college spring breaks are earlier usually.
We used to get, if I remember correctly, we got Thursday and Friday off. So we had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but that was it for Easter. But we also were
Thursday off.
Yeah. We in New York we had, and Bethany never really knew about this one. We had in February we got a break. In President's Week we had an entire week off.
And let me tell you,
they show up in
entirety of like Staten Island and Long Island are all in Orlando during that time. Every single one. LaGuardia is popping. Yeah. Okay. I saw a studio the other day that I thought was funny. And it was this guy talking about like, obviously like times are dark, whatever. The world is crazy. And he's like, this is why I have hope though. And he's like, yes, empty 2020. Finish off that orange.
Orange Jubilee.
The old Orange Jubilee. So.
My Bob will be proud.
Yes, he was. Yeah. But this guy was like, when people are like, I don't have any hope, like things are going to get better. And he goes, I do. And you want to know why? LaGuardia is good now. And I was like, that's a valid point, sir. LaGuardia is not a bad airport anymore. And that is truly, if that can happen, anything can happen. Like change is possible, y'all.
Anything is possible.
LaGuardia.
I don't have the gift to play, so
I know.
We have to reenact. Does this mean I have to do a cartwheel?
Yes, actually.
Maybe after.
And then
that might be our cold outro.
Oh my god. Yes.
If
please
AJ
believe
missed a cartwheel, he'd probably
he'd be
quit the
so
show.
he would do that this week, for sure.
That'll be next season.
But yes, that's a good. Here's the thing. I don't know. In the state of Florida, we like took a spring break and a Christmas break. Like you didn't take 18,000 breaks.
Right.
I feel like
School year was
every
shorter.
other state
Mhm.
is taking. There's a fall break. There's Christmas
Yeah.
break. Then there's a winter break. Then there's a spring. When do you people go to school?
Well,
I don't understand.
Here was the thing though, like we went for longer. Like Florida summers for the kids are longer than they were.
I guess that must be what it is. Because like Georgia is like going on breaks all the time, and I'm like, when do y'all go to school? But I guess there's summer.
No, I'm like you, Bethany. That was all we had: spring break and Christmas.
Yeah, two breaks.
Fall break was just you got Thanksgiving off. That's all fall break was.
Yeah, and
like
again,
we had it. It wasn't like a break. It was just
well,
a half day and 2 days off.
Whole, like I almost said a whole year, a whole week off. Back in my day, you had Thursday, Friday off. Like
we
Thanksgiving and like Black Friday is what you had off. So like you had a 4-day weekend, which that in and of itself is nice. But yeah, I don't understand this, like the children needing a whole week off for Thanksgiving. It's like, what? Like that's
so.
Are they cooking? Are we cooking the turkey on Monday? Like
it's so difficult for the parents too because they gotta work.
Yeah, like the parents have to work. Like I can understand doing like my job. We do a half day on Wednesday, and that makes sense because again, if you are hosting, maybe you want to go home, clean up, start preparing things the night before, like your pies or something. Or again, if you are traveling to be somewhere, you can travel on Wednesday and then you're already there on Thanksgiving. Right. I understand. Give children freedom. Yeah, I mean, I'm for it. I don't know. I think a longer summer is nice. So maybe that's just
this is how insane where I grew up in Long Island. We went back to school. The first day of school was always the first Wednesday after Labor Day.
Okay.
There are 2 Jewish holidays that we got off for in September. So we automatically had like 2 days that we were off in September right after going back. We got Columbus Day weekend we got off. So we had a break then. Then we had the same.
We're in school.
Yeah, we had as you said, the Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving. Christmas would either be a week or 2 depending on what day of the week Christmas fell on. And then we had a week off in February for midwinter recess, we called it.
Midwinter recess.
Then we got either with Easter or, again, depending on when Easter fell. We had another break, like at the end of March or beginning of April. And then after that, that's where we had our, we don't have anything. So then we went through almost to the end of June. So our summer didn't start until almost July.
Here's another funny thing about
that is
like it's like Alachua County. So they purposely make sure like UF will state when their spring break is, and then the schools will purposely plan something that's different than that. So they always basically like UF determines their spring break. And then the county determines when all the other schools are going to be on spring break. So that was always like, and I don't really understand what the purpose of that was. I'm like, you didn't want everyone on spring break at once. You didn't want, I was like, maybe some of the high school kids like mingling with the college kids if they were all on spring break together. I don't know what it was, but it was always a thing that like they would make sure that they were separate.
For just with Mike going through all that, which that was cool. That's like good. That's interesting to know. But I'm just remembering like back in those those first couple days of summer when you just went through a whole 9 months of school, or in Mike's case, 10 months of school.
Yeah, almost 10 months.
And it's done. Like I don't think there's ever a greater feeling
when like you have the whole summer,
summer.
Like it's just started.
Like 4th, 5th grade, probably like
I was gonna say like elementary school years, that was like peak.
Yeah. Like the peak.
It was a little different in high school, like if you started getting jobs, like
middle school. I think middle school is peak because you're like old enough to kind of like do things, but you don't have like that much responsibility yet. Or even like freshman year of high school, because you like mostly you weren't like legally allowed to work then because you were still like a little bit too young to work
Yeah.
at most places.
I had a
Well,
job.
yeah, some people do. But like once you're like a sophomore, you're old enough to like
Yeah, probably have your
get a
license and
job, and you have your license and whatever. Yeah. So then you're like, which again is
Yeah.
great, but then also that means work. So then I kind of was like, you're on summer, but then you still have like your little part-time job, so you weren't
Yeah.
completely free. But yeah, like middle school, like when you're like 13 and you're like, the summer is ahead of me. I have no responsibilities.
Yeah.
Like, what a time to be alive. You know what I mean?
ugh,
Yeah.
kids
I
on
know.
bikes.
Kids
on bikes. Oh my God. Kids on bikes. Yes. That's 100% the vibe. I used to take my little bike over to my grandma's house because she had a pool. We didn't. So I would just bike over. And again, this is like before like cell phones. Like my parents had cell phones
Yeah.
at the time, but like we didn't have cell phones. So the rule was always like I would call my grandma to be like, hi, like on our landline house phone. I'd be like, hi, can I come over to swim? And she'd be like, yeah. And she'd be like, are you leaving right now? Because they knew about like how long it should take me. And I'd be like, yeah. And then when I would have to tell my mom that I was doing it. And then when I got to my grandma's, I had to call and be like, I have made it to grandma safely. And that's like what you did.
We had an above ground pool in our backyard.
Oh,
So I actually had a very I'm sure Bethany has seen this before. The house I grew up in was not that big, but it had a basement and it also had a massive backyard. So like
nice.
but we only had one bathroom in my house growing up. It was a 3-bedroom ranch. Having the basement definitely helped because it had a lot of space down there. But we had a massive backyard that we had an above ground. We had a full deck and an above ground pool in the backyard, plus a pen for the dogs. So it was like the backyard made the house worthwhile almost.
Mm.
Basements, man. What a wild concept to me.
I'd have loved the house we had growing up. We moved when I was in starting high school, but like the house we had growing up, it had an unfinished basement, but a very livable basement.
That's how ours was too.
Yeah, like the ceiling was a complete mess, but like we had carpet, we had cement walls, but it was still like you play basketball. It was low ceilings, but you play like Nerf basketball down there. We moved eventually TV and video games and stuff down there.
Same exact thing.
Yeah.
We didn't have central air at the time in Long Island because so we had, like in the summer we had fans all over the house and like the window mounted air conditioners in the bedrooms. So I spent a lot of time downstairs also because it was substantially cooler.
Yeah, that's how we were too. Yeah.
A dumb Floridian question. I've never understood the concept of a finished and unfinished basement.
Okay.
What's the purpose of an unfinished basement? You know what I mean? Like, why is that part of your house?
Mostly storage.
So, like, for storage purposes?
Yeah, they didn't.
Whoever was an attic, you would use an unfinished basement to store things.
So we had both. We had an attic too.
We had both too.
It was finished, though, right?
It wasn't finished. So we put like
fascinating to me.
Like a big rug carpet, like it wasn't carpeted down there, but we got like the big,
So was it like cement,
that's what we had.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we did put like.
Did you also have a garage?
Yes.
Yep.
So you have a garage and an unfinished, because like garages are also kind of you store your car, but also like you store other crap. How much storage does one?
Yeah, well, I mean, but you use the basement for more than just storage, but
that's like where the washer and dryer were and things like that.
Yeah, washer and dry. Yeah. You like ours was cool, but I think they just they just wanted to add cool features to like make houses a little bit better, but they didn't finish them. Only like the very the wealthy. Like upper middle class had like.
But now it's like probably newer houses all come with finished.
They're almost all
finished, right? Like an unfinished basement is definitely more of like an older.
That's definitely houses built in like the 50s or 70s.
Because I remember.
In like New England, you call it a cellar, but it's essentially the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Because like our basement, like loved it, and then I go to like a friend's house and would go, and their basement was finished. It was like it's truly like upstairs, downstairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's just a part of the house.
Right.
Yeah.
But like an unfinished basement is definitely like
It's a basement.
you feel like you're
that 70s show.
Yes.
Like,
you don't sleep. Yeah. You
Eric
don't
Foreman's
sleep
basement
down
is
there
a
unless you
good
fall asleep.
comparison.
of like
Yeah.
what is
That
the
is
vibe.
a
It's
great
like an
example of an
unfinished-
unfinished.
A bunch of teenagers are down there smoking some guns. Kind of a vibe. My
So-
sister has a house down in Colorado that has a finished basement, and to me, it is. I'm like, it's just
It's just another
downstairs.
floor,
Like,
yeah.
you're just
Downstairs,
going downstairs. Like it's a living. Like there's a,
Yeah.
a bathroom, a bedroom. Like their guest bedroom is in their basement, and a living room. And I was like, so just downstairs? Like that's
Yeah.
all-
That's basically,
Yeah.
that's basically what you wouldn't even call that the basement. It's just downstairs.
I'm like,
yeah.
this is just downstairs.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's called the basement for some reason.
It was a bummer. So when I graduated middle school is when we moved.
Mhm.
And we just moved into a house we were renting, and it had an unfinished basement, but a very unfinished basement. Like
Hmm.
nothing has been set up. Like my walls in the other house were cement. These were just it was cement, but like lots of wood. Yeah, like a lot of wood. Like no carpet down there. Nothing's nice. There's spider webs everywhere. There's like what looked like a place where somebody probably got butchered. They probably butchered deer and stuff or whatever, like a whole carving table basically. Very creepy. Like I didn't even like going down there. But that was like when I had a lot of friends, and my friends had houses worse than mine. And so, and we finally we didn't, or basically like we didn't have that 70s show. Like my old house had like that 70s show basement, but the one I was living in didn't. So I was in high school, like wanting to have friends over, and we just were in the kind of the common area. And my other friends didn't have great houses either. We finally made friends with a guy that had a nice house, but we didn't know he had a nice house until like months later. We finally went over there, and we're like, you have this house, like we're this like beautiful house, we could all hang out. And like
You're like basically shopping for friends.
Yeah.
Hang out. Just kidding.
And we're pretty sure like he probably didn't want to be like used for his house. So we think he was like, I'm gonna hang out with the kids with crap houses, because they actually, they're not trying to use all my stuff.
Yeah, so like again, this is another dumb question. This is like because like in movies and like TV shows, again, I think of like that 70s show, and I think of like a basement. I'm like, oh yeah, like everyone just like hangs out in there. So like when your friends came over, you didn't like hang out in your room because you had a basement to go hang out in. Because you would just like, because again, like you wouldn't want to like sit in the living room with your friends. Like I want to be able to go like talk with them or whatever. So we just like were room people. Like you just went to your bedroom, like, hey mom, Susie's coming over, and then Susie come over and be like, all right, you'd like do the pleasantries with the parents for like a minute, and they're like, we're going to our room, bye. And then you just close the door and be in your room. That's
the beauty of the basement. You get your own living room without anybody else down there. So yeah, it's like a private living room.
I really feel like as a Floridian, I was deprived of this experience. We really got the short end of the stick. We were in a tiny ass bedroom.
Basements on heroes list.
Yeah. Basements are heroes list.
2026.
I truly feel jealous of all these people that grew up having basements.
Not just unfinished basements.
Unfinished basements. Not ones where they're putting animals in it, but ones where you actually can hang out down there.
Fancy finished it's just stairs. You're not
floor.
Wish you were.
It does not have the same feel.
No, it's not the same vibe. Not the same vibe. Well, that's crazy. I think my nieces and nephews are gonna like have this little second living room to go hang out with their friends by themselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. That's true. We were not cold. We wore flip flops in the winter.
Yeah,
that's so true. We were fine, But also I sometimes I'm like, oh man, because again, everything to me about like everywhere else in the country is like a movie, because that's how I know it is from watching movies, So I get like kind of like jealous and like like wistful that I was like, oh, I wish so, like, you know, like a white Christmas, or I wish I had like this, that, and the other thing. But like then I think about how terrible I am about getting out of bed early in the morning when it's cold outside, and I'm like, no, I couldn't have hacked it. I could not have done high school, and I just could. I know this about myself. I couldn't have done it.
Yeah,
snow is fun until it isn't. Like, yeah, you hit a breaking point with snow.
It snowed last night a lot.
Yeah,
it was not warm enough to like build up for a while, but or not cold enough. I mean.
But that's when it sucks, because that's when it's like just makes the roads icy.
Yeah, the roads. Yeah. That's by far the worst part of Wisconsin is the roads. Of winter.
Snow days. I just had my first one this year as a woman in her 30s. And honestly,
it was.
I felt pretty cool. I felt like
of snow
I was in a movie.
Too.
Yeah.
I missed 2 days of work for it. It was great. I loved it.
That's crazy.
What a wild time.
Our dog saw snow for the first time in her 14-year life.
Yeah.
Oh wow. And that was also the best feeling, going back to childhood and snow days. Like when there was a snow, like we had a snow day maybe like once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was just the best. Again, like the unexpected, when you think you have to go to school and then you don't have to. It's like,
see, and again, like snow is like fun. Obviously, snow can be dangerous, like a bad blizzard or whatever. Like it can be dangerous, but like snow is fun. So, like if you have a lot of snow and you get a snow day, like you're looking forward to it. Yes, Snowmageddon it literally is like Snowmageddon when it snows in
so we had
Georgia.
When I was in Virginia,
I was in the middle of a thought. Let me finish my thought. Sorry. So anyways, so y'all had that, like, waiting for the news to say. We had hurricane days, and that's not fun because a freaking natural disaster is coming through. So you're like, well, we're going to be held up in our house, so we're probably have to go to Publix the night before and stock up on water and batteries.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I literally, somebody the other day was like, why do we live in Wisconsin? It's so cold. And why don't we move to Florida? And I'm like, well, remember, they have hurricanes. Like,
great. I wouldn't recommend it.
There's no perfect
worse
place
to live, I'm sure, but
so I had three real storms that I encountered. One was in New York and 2 were in Virginia. The one in New York, I had more snow days off of that one storm than I think I did the rest of my K through 10 combined.
Wow.
We had like 5 feet. That was like a real storm.
Good use of the time, I think.
Yeah. But the Snowmageddon in Atlanta, there was also a Snowmageddon in the DC area. This one was a real freak storm because over a foot fell in 2 hours. So it was like if you were on the road, you were in trouble because it just came all at once.
That's crazy.
Normally to get a foot of snow, you're talking, that's like a good 6, 7, 8 hours of constant snowing. This one, for whatever reason, just came down all at once. And people were literally abandoning their cars on the interstate because they couldn't get anywhere. It was insane. But the other one was funny, and this is a movie theater story, actually, believe it or not.
Drink.
We haven't had one of these in a while. So there is a storm that's coming through, and it's snowing in the morning. I am off this particular day, and the projection. I was working as a projectionist, and the daytime projectionist is like, I can't get in, and they call me up, and I'm like, no, I don't want to drive in. And I sarcastically said, if someone wants to come pick me up, fine. They sent someone to pick me up.
That's the worst.
So then
should have never offered that. I'm just saying.
So literally, we're there for about 3 or 4 hours, and they declare a state of emergency. So we have to shut down. The other projectionist who was going to work at night was on his way. So he's basically at the theater. So I'm like, he's like, oh, I'll drive you home. He had a little God, what was it? It was a really small car, and it was a manual transmission as well. He got me to my house, and his car, after he stopped to let me out, could not get his car to move again. He got stuck in my house for 3 days.
For 3 days. Were you good friends with the guy?
He was
After that, yeah, what a bonding experience.
He wasn't really good. Like he was by the end of the second day, though, he was desperate to get home because he didn't have any clothes and stuff like that. Like, I had stuff.
He wasn't thinking offering you a ride home meant he was about to be bunking with you.
Yeah, that's like a movie.
Exactly.
Like, that could be a movie.
He was very excited to get to be able to leave, but he got stuck there for like 3 days because that was one of the bigger snow. I think we had like 3 or 4 feet in that one. Again, like I said, there was the 3 storms that I remember that were big, and that one. The crazy thing was, this was when Return of the King was still in theaters, and I literally had started Return of the King when the state of emergency came. We had to go into all the theaters and tell all of the guests, "Hey, we're in the state of emergency." Almost everybody got up like, "We're going to give you readmission passes, but the governor has just declared the state is in a state of emergency." The person in Lord of the Rings refused to leave, so one of the managers had to stay. Like,
it's a state of emergency. I'm sorry, I'm picking your ass out.
And it's literally the longest movie we have playing there. He's about, like, I'm going to say 15, 20 minutes into the actual movie, so there's still almost 3 hours to go. And he's refusing to leave.
Terrible.
And this is after the movie had been out for, the movie came out in December. I think this was like in February. So,
dude, if you want to say that bad, you would have seen. Well, maybe it was like a safe viewing.
It could have been.
We don't know.
People saw Lord of the Rings a lot. The people who went to that movie went a lot.
Tracks.
She's under there, I believe.
Okay, so Juice, we're talking about feet of snow, whatever, and what constitutes in Virginia as basically a state of emergency. What was like to get a snow day for y'all? Like, what did it have to do? Because I feel like it would have to be insane.
It was Jersey, right?
There was a snowstorm when I lived in Michigan. Where I think we had like 100 inches of snow, I think. I don't think it was 100. Hang on. How much is 100?
I don't know. That sounds like a lot.
About 8 feet, give or take.
Oh wait.
Yeah, it's just over 8 feet of 8 feet of snow. That would be.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it was. Yeah, it was. That was crazy. But I don't. Yeah, it'd have to be pretty bad. I would say like nowadays, our snow can fall very fast. So like,
I've seen that Packers game.
Getting the the inch in an hour or two is not uncommon. So yeah, I feel like since I was a kid was when we had it like really, really high, but lately it's only, it's more if the time of day it snows. Right. So if there's going to be a big snowstorm in the morning, they'll typically call it.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. Especially like more nowadays, people are, getting more careful.
Yeah.
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 Black ice. That's dangerous. Be careful.
Yeah. For my school district, it was around like 5 or 6 inches before they even consider it. Basically, if the roads were still plowable and they were able to get the buses on the road, they sent us to school. It was in the neighborhood of like 5. That's why I had so few snow days the entire time I was there. But New York had the infrastructure. Like, they were prepared for it. They had the salt. They had the plows. They had everything all set up for if the situation came through. And
real Victorian skeleton.
But one of the funniest.
Oh, so like the water would be what the pipes bursting.
That was Virginia was kind of like that. A lot of times Virginia would actually cancel their schools the night before if there was either the freezing forecast like that, like absurdly cold, like William is mentioning right now, or if the forecast said like 6 inches plus or whatever. You don't know how many times though in Virginia, when I was working at that movie theater, that the kids were out of school and there was no storm. and we're like, oh crap, we have no staff here, and everybody's
and
coming in
suddenly
because
it's a poppin' time.
Yep.
Now, one time, this is what happened. So theme parks are notorious for obviously making very last minute decisions on closing for storms. Like they really are trying not to unless they absolutely have to. So they canceled school. They like made, because schools are canceling like lickety split. Like they're the first people to make a decision usually. And again, a lot of that has to do with buses because they look at the wind speed, and if the wind speed is going to be projected to be over a certain amount, you can't bus children to school. So they will shut down very easily. So anyways, so they made the announcement they're shutting down Tuesday, Wednesday, and my dad's tracking this storm. Obviously we're all watching the weather. And he's like, I really don't think this is coming anywhere near us. But like, okay. And my mom's a school teacher. So we always had like coverage. Like my mom obviously was always going to be home if the schools were canceled. So we weren't like worried about that or whatever. So they literally, my dad's job, because he works for a sign company at the time, like they also usually like, we're really not trying to close unless they had to. But, everyone started panicking. Yeah, we're going to close. So my dad ends up getting off too. So he's like, yep, job's closed for the storm. So Tuesday comes along and like the storm's supposed to hit Wednesday. And of course that it veers and it's coming nowhere near us. And so we woke up on Wednesday morning and my dad's like, let's see if Busch Gardens is open. And it was. And it was the greatest freaking day because no one was there. And you could like ride front row on a roller coaster and you'd come back into the station. They'd be like, do you want to go again? You're like, mm-hmm. And they wouldn't even make you get off. It was like the best day I've ever had. It was just me and my dad. Sunny, 75 degrees. Like it couldn't have been better. And we're like, yeah, this hurricane. So every once in a while that would happen. But yes, then all of a sudden people are like, oh crap, like we're all off. I'm like, what can we go do? But again, and it scared so many people away. No one thought like, oh, let's go to, Busch Gardens, except for my father, who was like, the storm is not coming. I'm looking at the forecast. It's going to be beautiful. Let's go. And it was great. 30 likely I also don't get it. What? Am I dumb?
Oh, so I saw a reel from
What did you explain, William?
A lady who's giving a warning to all parents. If you are watching the movie Home Alone,
okay,
this is a legit warning she has given to people now. Because when they're sitting in the van, Marv and Harry are sitting in the van and they're saying the house numbers, they all start with 6-7. So
it's all making sense.
I got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Like boom boom da. Okay, got it. But yes, be warned. If you are for whatever reason watching this and have children or are aware of children, do not show them Home Alone because they will start doing the 6-7 thing multiple times during the movie.
We, for some odd reason, have like why can't I what you measure your height with, like whatever, a thing on our walls at work. What would it?
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, when you go to the doctor.
What is the term for that? I'm suddenly like brain farting. So, anyways. On our wall, it says, like inches and feet, whatever. And so it's in like our little, when we go take our x-rays. And I don't know why we have this because we are not a doctor's office. We're a dentist's office. But all the kids, the second they see it, get really excited and they want to go measure themselves. And then you're like, you're this, whatever. And they're like, oh, cool. Wow, you're so big, So anyways, today I'm charting for one of the doctors. This mom has like a couple of babies. One was out in the hallway getting x-rays. One was in our hygiene room. And she comes in and she's like, Mom, guess what? I'm this many inches. And her mom's like, wow, that's great. And she goes, do you know what this means? Which, mind you, this girl was way off on her. I was like, that's not at all what it means. And she's like, it means I'm 6'7". And I was like, oh my God, I can't escape it. So working with children is fun. No, it is.
I guess 5'7" is the number you don't want.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
So I just looked it up. A wall-mounted height measuring tool is called a stadiometer.
Stadium.
Or a
I've never heard that term before.
I've never.
Stadiomer? No.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I was always,
but we have one, and like each doorway of our x-ray, I have no idea.
William, I was always like towards the top of my class, but I was never like the outright tallest person in the class.
I was
Yeah, they
Same.
the two of you can't relate, can you?
No.
Stadium meter. Okay.
if you like Amazon that's like what you're
What comes up? Huh.
yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting. The more you know. We
Right
learned
on.
a thing
Nerd
tonight,
out for
everyone.
the kids on that.
We all learned a thing.
Where did that?
That's weird. His album was 12 Inches of Snow because the 90s. Yep, sounds about right. The 90s were a wild time.
90s were, yeah. They were a time, and I was a boy who grew up in the 90s. I
I don't
get
know
told
if
that a
anyone
lot.
heard this.
I get
but
told that a whole.
Oh, okay. So let's break that down. Thank you for what a great segue here to bring things full circle as to our thumbnail of this evening.
Oh yeah.
So we went to a convention this weekend
yeah.
in Savannah. Not a super big one. The biggest one we have been to in Savannah. We went to another one in Savannah that was the tiniest little convention I've ever been to. Here's the other thing. Mike and I are like old school nerds, okay? Because we are old people now, And like when I go to a convention, I'm thinking we're going to get Star Wars. We're going to get Marvel. We're going to get whatever. So many things nowadays are anime, and I don't know a lot about it. So I walk around and I'm like, I'm sure this is really cute, but I don't understand. This one was originally marketed as like a horror event, so there was a lot of horror stuff. So
that made sense.
I understood that.
That tracked.
There was, this one did, again, it was bigger, so there was an interesting variety of things. Again, also, we mostly went to conventions in Orlando, so there was always a big Disney presence as well. These conventions, they knew their market, and they would obviously come. Like Artist Alley would have a lot of, Disney theme park, kind of stuff. Sorry, I just knocked on our mic again. We're thriving as I'm trying to tell a story.
Thriving.
Horror anime. Mike is cracking me up. Okay, sorry. So, anywho, we go. We met Brian O'Halloran, which was lovely. He was a delight.
He was super nice.
This convention is so wild. Like, there's no one in lines for the auto. We went. So it opened Friday at 4, and we went like Friday at 5:30. So like, it wasn't going to be the most popular. Like Saturday, obviously, and Sunday were more popular. But anywho. So we're walking around and we're like, okay, this is bigger than the last one. Still kind of tiny in comparison to other things we've been to, but it was nice. It was very chill. It was nice not to be so crowded. So we're walking around and we're, I'm looking at Artist Alley and I'm like, oh, here's a bunch of stuff I don't understand. Oh, okay, I get this reference. Oh, this is nice. We got a beautiful photo of Wallace Shawn. May his memory be of blessed.
Yes.
I don't know why I made him Jewish.
I saw Wallace Shawn. Yeah.
I literally don't know what Wallace Shawn is, but either way,
he's Sicilian, I think.
He's Sicilian.
I mean, the movie is.
So we got this couple of cool art pieces from this.
Oh, one again.
Mike put his glass down.
Inconceivable.
Sorry, it's being very finished tonight.
It hasn't been like this in a long time.
It's really bad. Apologies. So anyhow, we get this art and then I'm walking and the lady who's at this particular booth is talking to another customer, but I look up and I see something. That looks kind of familiar. And it says, it's a print, she's clearly drawn. She's an artist. And it says, never stop improving. And I'm like, I know this building. I used to be blinded by this building. I know this building. So I go to Mike and I go, do you think that's? And he's like, I don't know, maybe. I'm looking at some of her other art to see what she has up, to see if like she would be, someone who would get this reference. She has something about like still mourning the loss of Muppet Vision 3D. And I'm like, okay, this seems like a Disney girly pop. Yeah. So she's finally done talking to the other guest. And I walk up to her and I go, I'm so sorry. I have to ask, is that the Eyesore of I4? And she goes, yeah, it is. And I was like, thank you. And she's like, yeah, I'm from Jacksonville. I usually do conventions in Florida. And she's like, I did this print. It was really popular, obviously in like the Orlando area. I decided, coming up to this one, I'd put it up anyways. I wasn't really sure how many people got it. And I go, ma'am. I could never forget that building. I wish I could forget that building, but to the day I die, I will remember that building. I was like, we lived in Orlando for years. Yada yada yada. So for those that are not familiar, there's this
It's
building
a thumbnail.
that it's a thumbnail.
Yeah.
There's this building that has been under construction for, I kid you not, longer than 20 years.
Yep.
It is still not technically complete. It has gone from a couple of different owners. There's been so much money that has been just thrown into this building, and it's completely glass, and so it kind of blends into the sky. But of course, if you're driving on I-4 at a certain time of day, it completely blinds you. Every hurricane that comes, we're like, buddy, you got one job. You got one job.
Take it out.
Take it out. Not a single person loves this building. But it's like also kind of like this inside joke of the Orlando community. People have like a love-hate relationship with it, right? So anyway, she has this never stop improving print. I think it's the funniest freaking thing I've ever seen. She also has a birthday card because she also does like birthday cards or whatever. And it says, happy birthday to my favorite procrastinator. And then she had like stickers and stuff. So I ended up getting a sticker because I was like, oh, I like the print, but like, where would I put it? I don't know. But it was funny. I've now since found her Instagram and she has an Etsy account. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe one day I will buy the print. I did really like the print. But anyways, so I buy the sticker from her. And then she was really sweet because we were talking about Orlando. And then I complimented her about the Vision 3D thing. And she threw in a Muppet Vision 3D sticker for free, which was very sweet. But anyways, I really kind of started thinking about it. And, you know, like, I, like all of us, I think, you know, sometimes I feel like, you know, like I'm a bit of a people pleaser and I want people to like me, and it hurts my feelings when I feel like people don't like me or whatever. And I was like, why is the eyesore of I-4 actually really kind of motivational to me right now? Like I got kind of emotional thinking about it because I was like, it doesn't care. Everyone hates it and it's still standing. We all literally wish for this building taken out by a hurricane. Yeah. It is still there. It is not complete. It is hideous. Nobody likes it. And it's like, F you, I don't care, world. I am here blinding you on the side of I-4. And I love that for her. Like, I think she's an icon, honestly. And I don't know, I've never seen it that way. And now I just have this weird respect for her. And it's, I think it's oddly motivational. But yeah, so the eyesore of I-4, we salute you. Keep doing you. Don't let anyone make you change. Okay.
That might be a chaotic neutral.
Yeah. It really is.
Just
that's very much. Yeah.
It's just there.
I'm like, the eyesore of I-4 doesn't give a damn what you think about it.
Very chaotic neutral.
No, it's still there. It's still standing strong. And I think that's beautiful.
I wanted to piggyback on what you said with the convention. It was wild. Like, so we're so used to doing things like Star Wars Celebration or MegaCon in Orlando, which are just massive conventions. Yeah. And we go where the celebrity alley is there, and usually you're there, and there are like lines for everybody. And literally every celebrity we saw there, you could have just walked right up to.
That's crazy.
So
now, not that there was any like super A-list people.
Also, you didn't.
But still.
Like and like at a Star Wars Celebration, like you pre-buy it and you're put in groups.
Yeah.
And you go back at a certain time. Like this, you literally just walked up to them and they're like, "What can I do for you?" And you're like, "Autograph."
So we walked around.
Hand them money. It's so weird.
We walked around twice, and Bethy's like, "You want to go meet him now?" I'm like, "Sure." And we go up there, and there's nobody there. And normally at those kind of conventions and stuff, I haven't we've done more photo ops than we have done autographs. But like even with the autographs, most people, it's like you talk to them for a minute or two. Like he talked to us for like 5 minutes, Brian O'Halloran did. And like, yes, Brian was supposed to be there that day. We did find out, like he told, like, 'cause I'm a huge Clerks the Animated Series fan, and I had the and it was funny. We pulled it. She had it in her bag, and we pulled it out. He's like, "Oh, that's the original. Was the first thing that came. The first print. It was the first thing that came out."
Wow.
Yeah, he knew what it was right away.
That's great.
And he's like, "Yeah, this one's kind of hard to find," is what he said. Yeah. And
he also said, he's like, "Oh," and Mike's like, "Yeah, I watched it like live," and he's like, "You were one of the 6."
Yeah.
which is because this is side tangent, but the first episode aired against the NBA finals. So
that was a choice on their part.
And then
bold move, Cotton. It did not pan out.
It
for
did not
you.
pan out well, and then they switched the day the second episode aired, like a week and a half later, and they never aired any of the other ones. So
That's crazy.
literally, if you watched it on TV, I didn't see the second episode on TV. I didn't see it until it was on DVD. But they aired them out of order too. For episode 4 was what they aired first. And then they aired episode 2, which is a flashback episode to episode 1. They did as a joke, Clerks the Animated Series does like a recap, like, a montage episode in the second episode where they just keep going back to the first episode. And they
I think I remember that. I think I remember that
without showing the first one.
Because yeah, I'm pretty sure my friends and I rented that from Family Video.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So I'm sure we had like a quite original copy because that was before I worked there.
So see how good I can get this, but
yeah, that was I mean, yeah.
I now have a autographed Brian O'Halloran copy of the.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep, and he asked us, I was like, "Do you want me to personalize?" I'm like, "I'm never selling that. Sure, why not?"
Yeah. And I obviously understand that a lot. Like, don't like it nowadays because again they are probably trying to like, I could sell it.
Yeah.
But I always think it's fun.
I think
I've never gone and got an autograph for the reason to sell it. So
this was funny, like going on that story actually, because we've always joked about Corey Feldman for the past like 2 years here now.
Mm-hmm.
If he's at a convention, he will charge you like $30 less to do an autograph if you have it personalized than if you don't.
Oh, right.
If he writes your name on it, he charges you like $30 less, which is wild to me.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the whole experience that like we stayed at that convention for, I don't even think we were there for 2 hours. Like,
yeah, it's probably a little under 2 hours.
We got through everything so fast, but like it was so freaking wild.
My friend Kristen saw him post that, we the picture that we took with Brian. And so she could tell obviously it was like a convention. She's like, "Oh, you're at a convention." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like there's one in Savannah soon to check it out." And so the next morning she texts me something and she's like, "I hope you enjoy the rest of the con." And I was like, "Oh, we did it. Like we were there for 2 hours and we did it." And I was like, it's so small. Like it's not a multi-day thing.
Brian was trying to get us to stay because he was hosting a burlesque show, a nerdlesque.
What?
Yes.
Oh, there were fun. So like the panels at 11. So a lot of things were like after hours.
Late.
Like it was going to be into like 1 a.m. And again, like we're there, we're
Oh,
old, and
wow.
we're tired. But there was at 11:15, one of the panels was drunk Tetris, which I think was just people going and drinking and playing Tetris. And I was like, if I could wait around here for 3 more hours, I would do that.
If we had a hotel and didn't have, I had to work the next
So some of the after hours stuff did look fun, but we were like, I can't stay this late. No.
Drunk Tetris would have been
But
fun.
drunk Tetris, they almost sold me on that. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, this is fantastic. But yeah, Nerdlesque, and then there was There was another one that was kind of funny.
There was another one that was kind of risque too. Yeah. I'm forgetting what it was.
Yeah, it was the funniest things, these panels, and I was like, I'm dead. But yeah, and of course there's always like people doing tattoos at a con. Like there was a whole room for that.
There was no one in it.
Like no one in it. But yeah, it's just so funny. All the little Savannah cons, they're so cute.
Yeah. I've got a little of, because obviously then the big like Star Wars Celebration stuff, which I do have a story to kind of end when we're ready to end the night.
Yeah,
which we're getting there.
Yeah,
I do have a story on that. But my brother presents at this like Midwest Gaming Convention in Milwaukee, and it is like the biggest thing in the area, like pretty far area, like several states where something like that happens. So it is pretty big. So it's definitely bigger than Savannah, but still nowhere near like a Star Wars Celebration. But it is really cool, like the little different stuff that they have going on. Like it's in like a multi-level floor, like hotel. So there's bunch of cool stuff. That's where I saw that guy and was sending pictures in the chat of it was like a pizza, pizza game. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. That makes sense.
So like and like the the vibe is very cool. But yeah, you can't like Star Wars Celebration. I was at the one in Chicago that y'all were also at, and there I could have stayed longer. Like, although I was there for the 5 days, so probably not. But
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say we
like,
were there all days, but like that's something like you didn't feel like you ran out
Yeah.
of things to do. Like there was
Yeah.
always something to do. Like each day had like
Yeah.
and like the floor is so big, and there's so many different
Yeah.
panels, and then there's the Star Wars Celebration stage where they're bringing different celebrities. Like there was just always something to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's very, very fun. So one of my favorite moment from what was last Monday, and last Monday I went to the Packers and Eagles game.
Right.
Yes.
Was very fun. Yeah. Which was a great, that was a great time. It was just so funny. Like a random like Packers fan just like handed me a beer and was like, I basically like he was already taking too many in to be able to like drink before getting into security, where it was like, all right, I got 2, I'm good. I have a third one. Here you go.
Thank you, sir.
So, but just there's Philadelphia fans with their like Philadelphia cheese, because instead of the cheese head with like Packer cheese head, they got like their things or whatever mocking us, but very friendly, very friendly.
Okay.
I think Packers, especially in Green Bay, like fans are very notorious for being extremely welcoming and nice. When I was in Indianapolis, last summer, I met the chaplain for the Colts, and he said like there's no more friendly, welcoming football team than the Packers. They're grilling like usually they show up at the away game, they get like cold treatment from everybody, but you show up at Lambeau and there's just people like everybody's trying to grill you a brat, like, oh, brat, beer, like
we know that from working in Orlando. Whenever we had like almost that entire division, I would say, like if you had the Packers, the Bears,
I never had any issues.
That whole division was so welcoming compared to like the Northeast, the East Coast.
And I just think it's like obviously Packers fans like take such pride. Like I mean, again, they're the owners.
They're there to root for their team.
Like they take such pride. Like Lambeau has such a storied history that like you do kind of want. Like I get that to a certain extent. Like when I see away people at like a Gator game, like I love my stadium so much and like our experience that I'm like, I hope they're having a good time. Like, like I hope like people are being nice to them and not being jerks to them and it's welcoming and they think it's like a cool atmosphere. Like you take a pride in like your stadium having a good atmosphere that you like want people to like enjoy it,
But
so
the Earth jersey. What I know you guys.
So
that's
so
iconic.
It took a while. Like I had a lot of people coming up to me and they were like, "Are you? Oh, like you're at the wrong game," or like, do you know? I was starting to question if the Cardinals were on Monday Night Football, even though they played the day before. Because people kept coming up to me like, "You're at the wrong game. You're at the wrong game," and I'm like, "Are they playing right now? Like I thought they played yesterday." And I'm like, "They did." Like, but obviously there's more to the jersey than just the team, which in my mind, but most people.
Yeah, they weren't good.
I mean, your Earth jersey story is legendary.
Yeah.
Like, if only y'all knew.
The best moment, because I told Madison, I was like, I just want one person to like acknowledge the Zach Ertz, like the Zach Ertz jersey, not the Cardinals jersey, the Zach Ertz jersey, because it's not a Cardinals jersey.
It's Zach Ertz.
It's a Zach Ertz jersey.
Zach Ertz.
And so finally, one person, like he came down. And he was talking to like the guy next to him. So I'm like, him and his buddy are like coming down the stairs. And they're just talking. They're like basically commenting on everything they're seeing. Like, oh yeah, that person had a lot of food. Oh yeah, that guy's got multiple drinks. And then they looked over at me and like, oh yeah, and this guy, I can't figure out. Is he, is he a Cardinals fan? Is he a Eagles fan? Or is he Zach Ertz's cousin?
You should have been like, yeah, he's my cousin, but I'm proud.
I know.
The real story is better though.
I was kicking myself. I was like, yeah, I should have like leaned into it, been like, oh yeah.
I guess we grew. We're practically brothers. Like, hey,
Yeah,
we were so
like-
close growing up.
But that'd have been great. I
Yeah,
should
I
like
had a whole backstory. It would have been so funny.
that should replace like when people ask me about my fingers or like
Right.
what's the origin story of the juice. It's just no, it all goes back to like, oh, I'm Zachert's cousin. Like nothing about me, man. Learn his learn his whole history. But no, it was a great moment. But let me tell you, we are driving home and we have our parents in the back seat, which is just hilarious. Her parents are great characters. So, but and she drove because it for whatever reason. But so I'm like in the front seat, and yeah, her parents are in the back, just chatting about everything you could imagine a blue collar Wisconsin couple would talk.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm picturing
And
it.
then so me and my so we're driving back, and I forget how it came up. But somehow Star Wars Celebration came up, or I think Star Wars got brought up.
Mm.
I don't remember why I told her about Star Wars Celebration. I might. Oh, no. Actually, no. What it was, actually, I was telling her about the fact that y'all were going to Star Wars Celebration in California, right?
Yeah.
So I was telling her about that because I was telling her, about us, like we should all do a trip together, whatever. And then that got brought up, and then I told her, I was like, oh yeah, the Star Wars Celebration, like we could go to that, and she was like, well, I don't want to dress up, and I'm like, you don't.
You're like, it's not a requirement.
Yeah, like you don't have to dress up.
Oh, that's so
cute. I was like, oh, don't you have to like walk around like, oh yeah, I'm what like I'm whatever, like, and I'm
There's so many people.
I'm C3PO67.
I have heard at 2 different celebrations that I've been to that go to the cons like with their family because their family's really into it, but they don't give a shit about Star Wars, but they love going to the convention. And I was like, yeah, like it's just like a fun experience, like it's such a fun community. Yeah. But it was so funny that 2 different conventions I happened to overhear like basically that conversation verbatim in like 2 different cities.
Yeah. It's like, you don't have to dress up. You just go, you take it in, you people watch.
Yeah.
We would have a great time because I'll make fun of anything with her. So like we'll be poking fun at people's costumes. It would actually be a great time.
Yeah.
But what was so funny was, so we're talking about that, and I did mention how like the story where at the Star Wars Celebration in Orlando, I did the first day dress up as Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
I had the hair done. I had the full robe.
Haven't we seen a picture of this before?
Yes.
I think we've seen a photo of it.
Kind of. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. But like, and I know I've told the story before, but like, I did it and it was fine. And like, that's when I ran into like Ken Knapsack and Mark Ellis. And they were like, I remember like what came out of Ken Knapsack's like mouth first was like, oh, it's Kenobi. And just inside, I think my inner monologue was like, I'm not Kenobi, I'm the juice. Like, like I didn't like that like, but it was so weird. But like, I went back and changed and just like went back into normal clothes because it was like, no, I just not me. Like I'm not Kenobi. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Most people would be like, yes, I did it. Like my cosplay was good. Yeah, they really recognized me as that character. And Juice was like, I am Justin Juice. Put some respect behind my name. This is not related to anything except for you saying, imagine what 2 blue collar Wisconsin, couples conversation. The second you said that, the other day I was sending I Snapchat to my friend Michael, and she usually sends them in the morning. I send them then I watch them in the evening. I send her one, and she watches the next morning, and we just, this is our little
That's
thing,
the cycle.
little cycle that we have. And the other day, I'm like, I'm just kind of like yapping to her, and when you stop for a minute to kind of think of your next train of thought. And so I was like, yeah, no, blah, blah. And I go, oh, God. I go, this is how I talk to people from the Midwest too much. I've started taking on their vernacular. And I was like, Juice just possessed me for a minute. I'm like, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. And I was like, whoa. And then I turned into a Midwesterner.
That's fantastic.
And I had to let you know that you just took over me for a minute.
That's so great.
Before we end the stream, I got to tell, I love Juice's Zach Ertz jersey story. So I think I might have told this in the past, but whatever, I'm going to tell again. So my buddy and I both got real drunk one night about 15 years ago and decided to get custom-made Torgo jerseys. Torgo is the character from Manos, the Hands of Fate. And I got a Mets one and he got a Nationals one. And we both spent like $120. And this is like in 2010 or so. So the probably would be like almost 200 now. And we both got these custom made baseball jerseys. So they showed up at our place when we were just like, we are absolute idiots. We were just seeing the biggest age. We made an agreement though, that if anybody ever came up to one of us, we were wearing that jersey and they knew the reference, we had to buy them a beer. And it happened. It did. Somebody came. So we got Torgo and the 66 because that was the year the movie came out. And somebody came and we were both wearing them one night. And this one guy comes to us, we're at our normal bar. And he's like, I gotta ask, is that a Manos, the Hands of Fate reference? And both of us were like, oh my God, we owe you a beer.
It happened. We never thought it would happen, but we didn't.
No, we did it. That's
Oh.
fantastic. Okay, so
the reference.
Tender show, the climax of the story.
Yeah.
So my favorite moment across this whole trip, the whole day of being at the Packers Eagles game. On the drive home, I'm telling her about the conventions and stuff.
Yeah.
And so amidst the conversation, basically, this was unprompted. I didn't even ask her. This was unprompted from her lips of what character she would dress up as if she went to a Star Wars convention. And I would like y'all to guess.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Can we get one hint?
Can you say which era it's from?
Yeah.
Prequels?
It's gotta be.
Prequels.
Prequels. I gotta feel like it's gotta be some weird thing that we're not gonna expect. Prequels era. General Grievous. It's gonna be like. I'm going oddball. I have no idea. What would she dress up as?
I mean, Amidala?
Is it like I feel like that's the obvious answer, which is why it's not going to be that.
No.
So what's the answer?
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah!
Yes, she's coming to celebration with us. No questions asked.
And
I will show her this and it will happen.
Say, good night, everybody.